Hey, this is Alex, and this is another video in my series about how to expand the LTV, client lifetime value, and is especially applicable to you if you're an agency owner or a B2B consulting company, okay? So one of the best ways to do that, in my experience, is to increase the retention, right? And then also charge higher fees. And what are some ways you could do either one or both? Well, one of the mistakes I see a lot of agency owners and B2B consulting companies make is they end up basically just following what the client asks them to do. Well, that's great, but then you end up being just an order taker, right? Because at the end of the day, what your client's interested in is growing their business, ideally profitably. And then also, so there's going to be times where they're going to be asking you something only from their, experience, right? And so when I work with clients, I very quickly position myself instead of just a vendor or somebody who's going to execute things. I position it myself as a strategic advisor. I recommend you do the same. What's the difference? Well, an advisor a lot of time won't do what a client asks them to do, mainly because a lot of time the client may ask them to do the wrong thing, or they may be asking them to do something that's actually going to limit, the outcome. And that's not necessarily by design. It's because a client can only ask based upon their experience, right? So when you're brought in to help grow a business, you maybe identify new income streams that they haven't thought of that's far more profitable than what they're currently doing. Or what they're currently doing is actually capping their growth, or worse, leading themselves to basically a dead-end situation that they can't, really get themselves out of because of market forces changing and whatnot, right? And so I often tell my clients that, that I'm probably going to, when you ask a particular question, I'm going to then ask to say, hey, that's actually not the, the thing that we want to focus on if this is your outcome. Now, if you want a different outcome, that's fine. But if you want this particular outcome, then that's probably not the area you want to focus on. A lot of agency owners and B2B consulting companies, I find that they're squeamish about doing that. And I recommend against that, right? You have to position yourself such that, again, you're an advisor and not just a vendor. Because then what's going to happen is a lot of your clients are going to ask you to do stuff that, you're going to get paid on, but then it's going to then limit, the duration of the engagement with them because they're asking you to do stuff that's taking them away from their goal. And they're not being malicious. It's just they don't know better based on where they're at, right? So the goal is like, you want to have the business acumen and the experience so that you can then help them create the outcome. And in many cases, that may mean, adjusting what is it they're asking you to do, obviously explain it to them, and then versus just kind of doing what they ask you to do. That's how you differentiate yourself so that you're not just an order taker, you're now a strategic advisor, and then actually identifying new opportunities for growth within their current product line or suite of suites of services, or even entirely new income streams they haven't thought of or not, right? Again, that's how you move from out of what we call vendor land to being an advisor. And then once you have that, you become far more indispensable. It tends to increase your retention. It certainly, substantially allows you to, charge your fees. And at that point, you can then actually break out the engagement to two phases. One is the advisory side, and one's execution side. Okay, and that's how you dramatically, increase the LTV of every client that you work with. All right. So this is Alex. I hope you find this valuable. Let me know how you're going to apply this, and I'd love to hear from you. This is a video of a series. If you like this, definitely find my other videos on maximizing the client value. All right. This is Alex, and I'll talk to you in the next video.